Hey, Blue Table fans! Sean here. So I want to talk about role-playing and the effect it's had on my life. And of course, this is sort of a spin plug on the ultimate fantasy role-playing thing that I have put out there. And by the way, this is high time. And okay, so when I was 12 years old, I loved fantasy. I read mythology, huge into Norse mythology, Greek mythology. Always looked that stuff up in the library. Dinosaurs. When I was in kindergarten, they were like, "What do you want to be?" I want to be a paleontologist. And then in second grade, I was talking to my mom, and she told me this later. I was talking to her, and I was like, yeah, and then I'm going to go to South America and live with the dinosaurs. She's like, "Oh, honey, the dinosaurs are all dead." And I was like, "What? But there's pictures!" So, yeah, I distinctly remember that as like a giant disappointment. So, anyway, in sixth grade, I go over to my friend's house because I had total freedom, Southern Oregon, 80s. And in fact, I think in sixth grade, it must have been 1980. So anyway, I go to his house and they're playing this game. And there's these weird colored dice. And it was Queen of the Demon Web Pits was the adventure. And that was it. I was hooked. And that's all we were doing after that. Started playing it in the library. Excuse me. And I just loved it. And it was only a week or two that I was the DM. That was always my favorite thing to do because I got to make stuff up. I got to create the world. And in a way, Blue Table Painting has been an offshoot of that I've got to create a world, the idea of a world room and to have these little miniature environments. And so to combine those two things is like, okay, so I'm going to interrupt the story of role-playing to talk about the order of the amber die. The order of the amber die, like a dice. And these guys are amazing. They're Pathfinder marathoners. And I've been in contact with them recently. And so this is all just like preliminary stuff. Like I still have to type up proposals and talk to them more and figure out exactly how this would work. But it's looking really good. Like talking to these guys, and we've done some miniatures work for them over the years. It just clicked. It was like, this is right. It's the right time. We're doing this. And so what they do is they're big fans of Paizo, which is a giant publishing company, Pathfinder. And for those of you that don't know, when D&D hit 3rd edition, then they did 3.5, and then instead of like revising that and doing the next logical thing, they just went off in left field with 4th edition, and Paizo Publishing, through the open gaming license, they started running with, they basically revamped the 3.5 rules, and they became, to my mind, the real D&D. Of course, they couldn't say that because of the disclaimer, but Pathfinder has become a force to be reckoned with, and Paizo Publishing has made their fortune and become really a juggernaut. I mean, they're amazing, and their product is really, God, I wish I could show you. I've actually picked up some stuff. And so anyway, Order of the Amber Die, so their idea is, yes, I'm going to host them at this amazing castle in the sky place that I've picked up as sort of like this permanent Valhalla / superhero headquarters. And it is amazing. You owe it to your life to be like, "Sean, I would come out if I could, and maybe I can, and I think this is really cool what you're doing." And get that link to that video, because I'm only going to email it to people. And that'll show you the whole place and really like how amazing it is. And even then, I'm only going to rank that at 50%. When I go and document it and actually do it, the place is available in like a week or two. So, you know, I'm just really champing at the bit. So those guys, they're going to come out and do their marathon thing for a week there. So that's their group doing it. But the concept of this, and they had roughly the same idea. The guy, he called it something different. It was Pathfinder Extreme was kind of their little code name to like, well, how could you make this like the best thing? And even their marathon games, I'm looking at them like, they're still using, you know, dry erase markers and, you know, not a criticism at all. I'm just, because that's usually how it's played, but I'm like, it could be better to actually, and right now I'm looking at these modules and I'm like, okay, this is how you would actually create that. How big would it be? Okay, it would be like 50 inches by 30 inches, this map, in real life, and actually build it up, like what would be the different elements to it. And what I'm going to do with my 2 sessions, this Calling All Heroes, with the 2 sessions this year is I'm going to take what I have already, which is a lot of terrain and pieces and miniatures, and I'm going to add to that, sort of mix them together and create a module that has the feel and the nostalgia of a classic module. The one I picked out is White Plume Mountain. You can't be White Plume Mountain, come on. That's a classic of classics. And but add some modern elements to it, and of course all the miniatures and the terrain and stuff like that. So back to my personal history of role-playing and all the fun and wonder that has brought me over the years is I remember I was constantly doing it as a young person, and then even like all the way through my 20s and 30s actually. Like I said, minimum I've run 27 campaigns. I've run oh boy, can I even remember them all? I just remember counting one time. I've run Skyrims of Jorun. How's that for obscure, right? I've run Shadowrun, I've run some World of Darkness, I've Changeling, notably. I've run GURPS, obviously a ton of D&D. When I was in 7th grade, and by the way, I still have it, I typed up my own system on like a dot printer, and I literally have this stored in a box. I have it. And all the maps that I hand drew. By the way, I'm glad I kept all that stuff. So anyway, because when I was growing up, it was like, computers, look at this new thing. How will they change the world? Nobody knows. So anyway, boy, we really do have Star Trek communicators now, right? So, okay, so it's summer. And I'm 13 years old, my mom comes home, and I'm sitting on the couch, like, you know, making notes in this module. It was Vault of the Drow. And so, but all my friends are doing my chores. They're like vacuuming, they're folding the laundry, one guy's doing the dishes. She's like, Sean, what's going on here? I'm like, well, I told them I'd level them up if they did my chores. She's like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm making the adventure harder. So, and always loved being the DM, absolutely the best, and I still have a great love for it. And the plan is, and I just have tons of stories about it. What else did I run? I had my own system that I made that actually I ran for quite a while. God, can I even remember all the stuff? I ran all the Dragonlance modules. That was huge. It took like the better part of a year, but I ran every single one of them. Wish I had kept them, you know. They're quite the collector's item now. And so what I'm going to do is do a test run first, and then in about 2 months, first session, and then about a month and a half after that, another session, and then of course it'll be Valhalla. Some people have asked me if I'm going to run my D&D thing up at Valhalla. Oh, that's part of the history of this too. Is that at the Valhallas, I just grabbed some of my classic modules. I'm just like, I'm just for 2 nights, I'm just going to run an adventure just for giggles. And let me tell you, that tickets for that sell out. Like, I had a guy contact me, be like, hey, me and my friend didn't get in last year. You're doing it again this year because we want to get in on it. And so I think there's going to be interest in it. And for me, it's one of those die happy things. Really, I'm so excited about it that I couldn't really think of that many things better to do, hobby-wise / professionally. It's really good. So back to Order the Amber Die. These guys are awesome. They're in talks with Paizo to actually do this, to, say, listen, we're going to take your product, we're going to show it in the absolute best light that we can, and we want to team up with Blue Table Painting and get these miniatures done. And but then my first question, because Paizo has a line. Oh, by the way, I'm going to talk as long as I want until I get dry mouth or something. Hey, some water. What do you know about that? So anyway, hold on. I didn't want to put my lips on it. I think that might be my office assistant's water. Oh, side note, before I get back to Order the Amber Die, I've got a great assistant. Right now, I was hoping to get into the new place before rehiring, but the fallout of actually moving, the commute, a lot of my guys just couldn't make the transition, and that's okay. But the new people coming on are great feeling to them, supremely talented. And something new I'm going to do is I'm going to get them on camera and have them almost like interview with you guys, and we'll get the fans' input, because, well, actually they are cyber stalking the company. Most people that come in, they've actually looked up the YouTube channel, they found it somehow. And okay, so back to Order the Amber Die. So these guys are hot to see this happen. This is, to my knowledge, this has not happened in the world yet. This is a new thing, which is to take an entire module, an entire adventure, and create a 3-dimensional representation of it, and do it well. Not with just pre-published stuff that you slap on there, Chinese pre-paints. No offense, but that's not the same as what I'm thinking, which is, but I've been lining this up actually, starting to search and do that research for what would be the best models. Get those best models. Get that Rackham confrontation stuff. Find those out of print things. Find the best of all these different ranges. And when I was talking to the Order the Amber Die guy, and we talked for I don't know, I'd guess hours. I was like, oh, but Paizo has their publishing line of miniatures. They probably don't want to feature other miniatures, but apparently that could be a thing. So 2 different things. My thing, I knew whatever the heck I want, and I'm going to. And then the other thing is where I'm working with Order the Amber Die, and actually working up something that along the lines of what they're doing, more of a tandem project. And what they're going to do, apparently there's like a Cthulhu type line that Paizo is going to, oh wait, should I talk about that? All right, anyway. For those of you that don't know, Paizo, okay, so that wraps up, that's all I have to say about that. And by the way, if you come to the Ultimate Fantasy Role-Playing thing that I'm doing twice this year, 2 of them are happening. And by the way, that's going to be very limited slots. I mean, with the current interest and, sort of the pressure behind that concept, I think the 6 slots are going to fill up pretty quick. And if they don't, if I have 1 or 2 left over, oh, don't worry. There will be local people and friends of the studio who will come on board to fill that out. But really, I have a feeling that it's going to really fly. And so, all right, back to the next thing. Hold on, what was it? Finding miniatures. Nope, I think that's it. I think I ran myself out, guys. So thanks for tuning in. Definitely check the liner notes for the link to info on that. And come on out. Oh, that was the other thing. Salt Lake Airport, close by. This permanent Valhalla thing is close to town. It's more like the concept of a city Valhalla. It's 15 minutes from downtown Salt Lake. And I gotta tell you, there are some great restaurants, some great nightlife, great pubs and breweries. Oh, sure, I'm gonna hear from the people from Seattle or wherever it is. But, you know, there's some good stuff here. And let's see what else. Oh, and the airport's close too. The airport. I mean, it'll be so easy to get here, and the view is amazing. So be my guest. Come out and be with me.